According to Federal Reserve data and Nobel Prize-winning economists, building wealth is not a mystery. It is simple math. But hardly anyone talks about the 3 precise moments when your money suddenly starts working harder than most people do in their 9 to 5. If you are tired of feeling stuck while the rich seem to sprint ahead, let us flip the script. Did you know that your net worth could go from painfully slow to making you more each year than your full-time salary? At 3 exact tipping points. $100,000, $650,000, and $1 million. The question is, why do so few people ever make it to these milestones? And how can you make compound growth unstoppable, no matter where you start? In the next few minutes, I will break down the real numbers, show you the math and the stories, and give you a timeline you can trust, plus the exact actions to reach your next level faster. Stick with me if you want to finally understand when and how your net worth goes into overdrive. Before we jump into the math that will completely rewire how you think about net worth, and trust me, you will want to see these numbers. Let me quickly clarify. This video is for educational purposes only. Past performance does not guarantee future results. All the calculations here are based on historical data and used for illustration. Be sure to consult a financial advisor to tailor this to your situation. Now, let us get real. Most people imagine building wealth is this straight staircase, or $1 saved equals $1 richer. Unfortunately, that is not remotely how your net worth grows when you invest properly. According to a 2023 Federal Reserve report, the median American household has just over $192,900 in net worth. But most of that is locked up in home equity, not investments that actually produce compound growth. That is why a surprisingly small percentage ever break out of the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. And even fewer, just 13% according to Vanguard research, reach $100,000 invested before age 40. Why? Because the journey feels so slow at first. Most people quit before the magic kicks in. Let us walk through this with real numbers. Then I will show you 3 alternate scenarios to prove this works at different ages and income levels. Imagine you start at 25 in investing $500 per month, about $125 per week, roughly a couple nights out, a few streaming subscriptions, or that daily coffee run. Not an impossible ask for many working adults, but of course, tailor this to your own life. With a conservative 7% annual average return. Historically, the S&P 500 has averaged closer to 10%. But let us stay on the safe side. How long until you reach your first big milestone? Here is where the snowball analogy becomes real math. You will need around 7 years and 9 months of consistent investing to see your first one. $100,000. That sounds painfully long, right? Think back. 7 years ago, where were you? Your career, your friends, your financial habits. Time passed anyway. During those first 8 years, most of that $100,000 is thanks to your hard hustle, not the market. To be exact, roughly $46,000 is what you set aside. And the remaining $54,000 is from investment growth. The compounding is starting, but it is not yet dramatic. But wait, here is the first progress marker for your financial journey. Milestone number 1, $100,000 invested. Numbers on the screen, chart going steadily up. So, now, here is a surprising stat. According to Vanguard, investors who make it to this first 100K are actually past the hardest part. And it is why the old saying goes, The first 100K is the hardest. Why? Because from here, your dollars start multiplying themselves. Comment below if you have hit your first $100,000 or if you are working toward it. Share your goal year. Let us build some accountability and community in the comments. Hundreds of others are on this same path right now. But let us humanize this with a quick case study. Meet Jasmine. She started investing at 32, but could only spare $350 per month as a single mom. She hit her 100K milestone just after age 44. About 12 years in, at a slightly slower pace. The psychology was the same, grinding through seemingly slow growth until one day her annual returns outpaced a month's salary. No trust fund or lottery needed. Just time, patience, and not giving up around the 7-year mark. Curiosity loop is, what if you double your investment or start even later? Stick around. I will break those paths down after the next milestone. Here is what people get so wrong. Most assume that $100,000 is only 10% of the way to $1 million. But compound growth explodes after this point. It took you nearly 8 years to save the first 100,000. How fast? To the second 100,000. Just 5 more years. That is right. From year 8 to year 13, your account hits $200,000. Your own contributions now total about $78,000. But investment growth towers at $122,000, over 60%. You are earning money while you sleep. Progress marker. Milestone number 2 is approaching. And here is a viral data anchor, the majority of U.S. workers. Nearly 60%, according to Fidelity, never see their investment returns outpace their contributions. If you are at $200,000, you have bucked the trend and are well on your way. Here is another quick scenario. Alex, age 28, starts with $125 per week, but pauses investing for 3 years after losing a job. The first 100K still takes just under 8 years, but the next 100K can be hit in just 4.5 years because compound interest was still rolling in the background. Setbacks do not stop the snowball. They just slow it temporarily. Curiosity loop. What if Alex started at 38 instead? Or what if the market tanks right before milestone number 2? I will run those numbers after the next benchmark. Let us keep moving. The math speeds up. At year 18, your account sits at $400,000. You only put in about $118,000, but $282,000 came from growth. Think about that. Your money has done the equivalent of over 5 years of your own work, but now with zero effort. At this point, you are earning around $28,000 per year in investment returns alone. That is as much as some people earn working full-time. Pause for a moment and imagine. If you built your net worth to this point, what would life look like? Drop a money bag emoji or your next target milestone in the comments. I want to know who is aiming for 250K, 500K, or 1 million next. Pattern break. Let us talk reality for late starters. Meet Chris, who begins at 42 and can only do $250 per month. It takes him 12.5 years at 7% average return to see $50,000. But if he steadily increases his monthly amount as his income rises, and to $400 per month by age 50, Chris can still reach $400,000 by retirement, proving it is never too late. But the milestones do take longer at lower monthly inputs. Always know, time plus consistency is greater than perfection. All right. Time for milestone number 2. $650,000. The average U.S. household income is $78,000, according to the Census Bureau. With $650,000 invested, earning an 8% annual return, which is slightly higher than our 7% baseline, but well within historical norms. You are looking at $52,000 per year in passive investment income. That alone, plus possible Social Security, currently averaging $1,900 a month, puts you near median American lifestyle without a single work hour. Here is the key educational anchor. Most financial advisors, including those at Fidelity, Vanguard, and Schwab, agree the 4% withdrawal rule is a safe starting point for sustainable retirement income. $650K times 0.04 equals $26,000 per year. But if you push for 6 to 7% in higher growth years, that is $39,000 to $45,000 per year. Not quite full replacement, but enough to supplement Social Security and live comfortably. Progress marker. Milestone number 2 achieved. Your net worth is now producing passive income that can fully or partially cover core living. Expenses. You have options. If you choose to keep working, every salary dollar becomes extra, and your portfolio can snowball at turbo speed. If you need to pause, or want to start a business, travel, or care for family, you can do so without risking total financial ruin. Next curiosity loop, But what would it look like if you started even later, or invested more aggressively? How much faster does the snowball grow with $1,000 per month instead of $500 per month? We will run those numbers right after this next storytelling break. Real-world case study. Priya, age 35, inherits $20,000, combines it with $600 per month contributions, and reaches $650,000 in just over 19 years. 6 years faster than if she had started with $0 and $500 per month. Lump sums at the beginning, even small ones, make a noticeable difference due to compound growth. Returning to risk. Here is where the responsible finance content matters. Even with the math on your side, markets fluctuate. For example, the S&P 500 dropped 37% in 2008 and took more than 2 years to fully recover. If you are consistently investing over decades, downturns help you buy more shares cheaply, which leads to greater gains when markets recover. Always diversify and never invest money you will need in the next 5 years. Want a personalized path to your own next milestone? No matter your age or starting amount, download my free net worth milestone calculator. Linked in the description. Enter your details, and it will map your exact timeline to each key milestone. Thousands have used it to speed up their journey. Let us tackle another myth. Most people think making $1 million is pure luck or reserved for high-income earners. But the math says otherwise. If you keep that $500 per month pace at 7% average return, you will reach $1 million in just under 29 years. Yes, nearly 3 decades sounds massive, but remember, most millionaires started with what they could manage and increased their contributions as their careers grew. According to Fidelity's 2022 Millionaire report, the average U.S. 401k millionaire took 28 years of consistent investing to get there, and most never earned more than $100K per year in salary. It is all about persistence, not windfalls. Here comes milestone number 3, $1 million. Your net worth at this stage can generate $40,000 to $50,000 per year in passive income, using our prior withdrawal rates, not counting Social Security or side income. That is financial flexibility most people never experience. Case studies. Hector, a first-generation American, started at 27, investing just $250 per month, but doubled his contributions by age 38 after a job promotion. He hit the $1 million mark at 56. Not the fastest journey, but he built seven-figure wealth from a very average income. The lesson? Increase your investing as your income grows and never quit, even if the early numbers feel small. Remember, compounding is math, not magic. Pattern break. Quick comparison to alternative asset paths. Let us say you tried real estate or higher risk options. The truth: owning a rental property or focusing on cryptocurrency could yield higher returns, or much lower, depending on timing, fees, leverage, and skills. The three-milestone framework works best when you focus on what you can control: consistency, contributions, and diversification. Never base your future on get-rich-quick strategies. Risk insight. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Markets will not always rise steadily. There will be crashes, corrections, long flat periods. That is why a well-diversified, low-cost index portfolio has outperformed most active strategies. According to decades of research from Dalbar, Vanguard, and Morningstar. If you are ever uncertain, a fee-only certified financial planner, CFP, can help tune your portfolio to your goals and risk tolerance. Returning to our milestone timeline, let us say you want to hit these numbers faster. If you can increase your monthly investing to $1,000, perhaps by combining partner incomes, side hustling, or reducing discretionary spending, and you could reach $1 million in as little as 20 years at a 7% return. If market conditions are more favorable, or you receive lump sums along the way, or bonuses, inheritances, those timelines can shrink again. Curiosity loop, wondering how inflation factors in, or how to safeguard your principal during rough markets. Stay tuned for the closing risk and longevity section. Chat. Plus your specific, do this next week, action plan. Here is how the math works for compound growth in case you want to check it yourself. The formula is FV equals PMT times, open parenthesis, 1 plus R, close parenthesis to the n-1, divided by E, where FV is future value. PMT is your monthly contribution. R is your monthly rate of return. For 7% annual, use 0.07 divided by 12. And N is your total number of months. Plug your details into any online calculator or spreadsheet using this formula for a reality check. If you learned something new so far, screenshot the three-milestone framework. Share it with someone chasing the same goals. And make sure you are subscribed for more tools and deep-dive case studies. Risk and volatility in contexts. You might worry about starting during a bear market, or about possible policy changes affecting Social Security. The reality is, every major study. See J.P. Morgan's Guide to Retirement 2023. Finds that time in this market beats timing the market. Missing just the 10 best days each decade erodes gains more than riding out bear markets. Your job? Stay consistent. Automate investments. Update your plan annually. And always keep cash for emergencies. One last scenario for late bloomers. Sarah, age 45, starts with a $15,000 rollover from an old 401k and contributes $400 per month, though she will be 70 before reaching $1 million at 7% average returns. She is still set to generate over $45,000 annually in passive income, easily enough to boost Social Security and support semi-retirement or a more relaxed lifestyle. If you are just getting started, do not let the timeline discourage you. Motivate yourself with progress, not perfection. Let us move to your action steps and set you up for success on the path to each milestone. Let us quickly recap the Money Master's 3 milestone frameworks. First, slog through to $100,000, the hardest and slowest phase, fueled mostly by your contributions. Then compound growth ignites and pulls you to $650,000, where passive investment returns can cover a huge chunk of your lifestyle. Finally, hit $1 million and unlock true financial flexibility and psychological security. Key takeaway: the journey feels slow at first, but patience, automation, and increasing your contributions as income rises unleashes snowball growth that feels impossible to stop. So here is your exact action plan. 1. This week, automate your investments, even if it is $50, $250, or $500 each month. Set it and forget it. 2. Download the free net worth milestone calculator linked below and enter your real numbers as timeline clarity destroys discouragement. 3. In the next 30 to 90 days, aim to increase your investing by just $25 or $50 per month, or add a lump sum, such as tax refund, side hustle money, or cash from cutting a small expense. The sooner those dollars start compounding, the faster you reach each tipping point. 4. Review your plan every 6 months as your income grows. Ratchet up your investment contributions and keep your portfolio diversified. Do not panic if the market drops. Stay the course and remember, time in the market wins. Here is the timeline reality. If you are consistent, you will see your first $100,000 in under 8 years, double it in 5. Quadruple it in another 8, and potentially reach $1 million in less than 30. Start late or level up your contributions and your timeline flexes accordingly. But the math does not lie. Staying invested is the variable that delivers. If you are ready to take that next step, subscribe to Money Masters and turn on notifications. Next week, I am breaking down real subscriber portfolios, live, with action plans for every scenario, including setbacks, windfalls, and late starter strategies. FIFA. Drop your milestone target or biggest financial aha moment in the comments. I reply to as many as I can. And it is how you join the accountability-driven community we are building here. If this video gave you clarity, share it with a family member or friend. Let us make financial freedom the rule, not the exception. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only, not financial or investment advice. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Your numbers and timeline may be different. Yes. Consult a qualified financial or tax professional for custom guidance, and always do your own research before investing. Stay consistent, keep learning, and let compound growth do the heavy liftings. See you at your next milestone.